defeated where even you failed.
Catra, now is not the time to be snarky when you're looking for praise here. Catra did this mainly because she wanted to prove she's more effective than Shadow Weaver, yet came here to dangle these things in front of her. Shadow Weaver, of course, takes credit from Hordak because what did Catra expect would happen here? This is what I meant when I said Catra is pretty clever, but also impulsive and reckless. She should have dragged both the sword and Glimmer to Hordak. Catra was looking to impress and gain some form of approval from Shadow Weaver, even when that woman has shown not to care about what she does. It's kind of sad, really. Catra gets that this woman doesn't like her, yet she seems to have this deep, screwed away desire for approval from somewhere. I mean, it does make for an interesting character and interactions, especially when Catra loses these flaws and desires and really comes into the position as a really dangerous antagonist. So the conflict of this episode is that they got the sword, bow, and of course Glimmer, and now they have a hostage to force a capitulation from Angela.
As leader of the rebellion, how can I surrender myself to our enemy?
Another crux for the issue between her and Glimmer, really. As a military commander, Angela has to make hard decisions that affect the whole war effort, the whole losing war effort, and that includes spending lives, especially against such a technologically advanced army as the Horde.
As a mother, how do I...
Angela does not want her daughter in any situation that would require her to make a hard choice like that. Now, I am not a parent, so I can only really imagine what she could be going through at this moment, isolating herself, just trying to think and seeing only one option as a mother who cares for her daughter. And it's good fortune that Adora was here to try and stall for time and come up with anything. It's all a real downer way to get us started. I mean, it had to be, considering how last episode ended. Especially since Adora doesn't have the sword or either of her friends and can't be the hero they need here easily. Then we get lifted as the princesses and Seahawk are here.
We're the Princess Alliance, and the Horde took one of our own.
They're part of the Alliance now, and Glimmer and Bow did help each of them with a problem they face, so it makes sense as to why they'd rushed here unprompted to help.
Can I be this miniature painted model of Bo?
No, those represent Bow and Glimmer, and this one's mine.
Okay, that's adorable. Both that Bow made those things, and how they look. Adora also knows this prison. She was a Horde soldier, so it's safe to just assume that. So the plan she made is as sound as it could be.
Will access the Fright Zone sewer system. She'll swim through the pipes.
I'm sorry, Mermista will what?
Yeah, that is accurate. It's a sewer drain. That place is not going to be sanitary. The plan starts off smoothly, but then hits a few bumps. Seahawk ends up getting spotted and taken away by Scorpia under the guise that he's an inspector. Entrapta and Perfumer get paired off, and of course the former is getting distracted and wandering off because it's the Fright Zone. This place is like the equivalent to Disneyland for her, with so much technology and machinery around she's never seen before. All the while Perfuma is just trying to take this seriously.
Entrapta, we're supposed to meet the others. I know, I was waiting for you.
And eventually just resorts to tying a leash around her.
Harmonious teamwork with Entrapta can be a challenge.
Entrapta just nods along like, yep, this is the thing people say around me. I mean, I expected something to go awry here, because if it didn't, this would have been a really short episode, and that's not really how these things go for the protagonists, heading out to rescue their friends. There's gotta be some form of rising action. They do get inside without tripping any alarms, and begin the rescue proper.
Hey, where's the geeky princess?
Then Entrapta just complicates things further by slipping away. Like I mentioned back in episode 6, she really is an energetic puppy just looking for anything that pleases her, oblivious to the damage or complications she causes on the way. So now they've lost 2 of their party and have just gotten inside the prison, and now need to run around just hoping neither of their missing get found out or spotted.
I don't know, that sounds like a lot.
Cause it is, Mermista. Just like how you don't want the antagonist to lose all the time, but just win without a hitch, you also don't want the protagonist to just win without issues, because that really doesn't make an interesting storyline. But the way they do it here, with Entrapta just being herself, and Seahawk just being lucky Scorpia's not good at spotting the most disingenuous lies I've ever seen.
I should get back home to my Inspector children.
I mean, at the end of it all, Scorpia does recall who he was from the ball, yet he and Mermista were at the Princess Prom. I didn't think it was important to mention it last episode. Although it does end up working out, but mainly through Entrapta's skills with technology, getting that bot under control, and being at the right place at the right time to rescue Seahawk.
Duck?
Ooh, where?
Ah, Scorpio, you're too precious for this world.
Oh, Doc!
Oh! Some of what I said about Catra's plan and execution last episode can apply here, with skills mixing with a bit of luck to combine into a believable resolution for the situation. So they end up regrouping and make it to the prison, but there's also like this fight where they're on these platforms, you know, and I'm no expert on physics, but if these things just jolt up or down so fast, shouldn't just make everyone like either fall down or float into the air? If you've been in the Guardians of the Galaxy breakout ride at Disneyland, you might know what I mean by this. Besides that, Adora ends up having to fight members of her old squad.
I need to save my friends.
We were your friends.
Yet it doesn't have the same narrative weight that line implies it should have. There's no really conversation, no back and forth, it's just that line and that's it. Also, throughout this whole fight, Kyle's down with Bo and the two kind of bond in a way. Well, they got Bo at least, that's good, I guess.
Vent system leads to the vehicle bay. Each chamber needs to be sealed and purged before you can move on to the next.
Okay, why does this place have airlocks that clear themselves out by flash burning the interior? Adora says it's to purge the space, but why? This is a prison. I understand this slightly, this is some sort of medical facility, but cannot for the life of me understand why this aspect of the security system exists. What are they trying to avoid? Invisible enemies from creeping in? Or just to keep their own people on the move, because there is a few of these airlocks and only one of them actually leads outside the complex. I feel like the only reason why this fire purge thing exists is so that when Entrapta's bot gets held up in one and she runs after it, it closes and she presumably dies, which could they not think of a better way to do this? Everybody else flees, but Adora decides to stay behind to try and rescue Glimmer and is now with Shadow Weaver once more.
Pack your things. Now that Adora is back, there's no need for you there.
Obsessed is the word I use to describe Shadow Weaver's desire to have Adora back as her personal force captain.
You shall stay willingly, because I am going to wipe your mind.
Full-on memory erasing and likely brainwashing.
Once I'm done, you'll be happy to have her as your prisoner.
Just listen to the tone in her voice. Recall what happened back in Mysticor.
Everything will be as it once was.
She really wants Adora to grow and be successful as a force captain? Even when she has blatant proof that Catra is capable, she just demotes her and goes back to Adora. She cares so much about Adora because she's like an investment. She puts so much time, so much effort into molding her, and she's like a show dog Shadow Weaver's tried to methodically train here. She's not just gonna let her go. I know why this is, but you gotta wait for the relevant episodes to come up to fully get into that. Until then, Shadow Weaver is mainly obsessed with Adora just because she wants the child she's raised to be the model commander. The situation seems lost as Glimmer cannot teleport out of these restraints because the Black Garnet energies prevent her from doing so. But I can buy that seeing Adora being brainwashed and in pain gives her the strength to, through sheer determination, get out of those restraints and sock Shadow Weaver in the face. If you can't tell, I really like this moment. There are consequences though.
Glimmer, what's happening?
I can't teleport.
So everything is not a total triumph without work nor cost, which is important because just having the protagonist pull a victory out of nowhere is never a good thing because that is boring. You have to try and make it look earned, have them go through struggles, and potentially grow. I say this because this is a very simple idea, yet people still mess it up. A good example of this is how Adora gets her sword back. We just established Glimmer cannot teleport and she's too exhausted to fight. Adora doesn't have a weapon and the rest of the team is off stealing a skip so they can escape, so no one's coming to rescue them. We've seen Catra and Adora fight. We know they're pretty evenly matched, except the former here has a sword. And just when the situation looks utterly hopeless, this happens. Catra hands off the blade and leaves.
Catra, just get out of here.
It makes you wonder, was this just to get back at Shadow Weaver for the sudden demotion? Is this out of a legitimate desire to help Adora? This gets you to question the villain status of Catra. Is there a chance for her to defect? This is far better than just having the sword in the Black Garnet chamber and Adora just grabbing it on the way out. And to end this whole episode off with Entrapta just being gone. I mean, she's obviously not dead, but The characters don't know that, so we get this sort of bittersweet victory instead of the glorious triumph we were obviously expecting. So that was episode 9 of Overanalyzing She-ra. If you like this video and want to see more, then hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button, then bell to get notifications about the next episode. I'll try to update this series every Thursday, so please share with other fans, and check out my channel for my video essays, music analysis videos, complex character series. You might find them enjoyable as well.